No matter which way you stand, the finger's always pointing at you.
Aye, I see it all right. Your country needs you.
Well, come on then, what does it say?
Are you a man or a mouse? Are you a man who will ever be remembered as a gallant patriot, or are you to be remembered as a coward and a rotter? If you are a man, here's your chance to prove it. Enlist straight away by going to your nearest recruiting office.
Well, what are we? Men or mice? Men! Well, come on then, let's go and do it. Let's end off this bloody war. Our country needs us.
Come on, kill me. Come go and do it. She needs my wage, you know.
What wage is that then? Haven't you heard? We're going on short time next week. Them looms at Taylor and out here lying idle. Luke, if we join up, you'll get a regular wage. You might be pleased about that, won't you? There's no doing around here, Billy. Let's go and have ourselves an adventure. Might be the only one we ever have. There's a big world out there. Let's go and see some of it, eh? Something to tell our grandkids. But we won't tell anyone until we've done it. Then they won't be able to do anything about it, will they?
Right lads, what can I do for you?
We've come to join up.
Good. How old are you?
19.
Both of you?
No, I'm 17.
Sorry lad, you're too young. Come back when you're 19. Tomorrow, eh? Better get used to now. Go, right. Your country needs you.
Oh, wait.
You do realise you can go overseas?
That's great. We've never been further than Blackpool, have we, Billy lad? Can't wait to see foreign shores.
You better get used to it. There's lots of folk, myself included, think it'll all be over at Christmas.
That's all right, isn't it?
See you tomorrow then, when I'm 19.
Listen,
Don't tell your mum, otherwise she will tell mine, and mine will go mad. I'll tell yourself tomorrow after the message, alright?
I've just seen them, all them pals. Oh, have you what we're going to do?
See you! What did the matter with you, Flora?
How told me the other day that it'll be all over come Christmas. Don't take on so.
What's going on here? I can hear all this noise through next door. What's all the fuss?
Oh, what's it with her? Well, she's getting herself in a right state. She's seen lads going into town hall, and she's convinced they won't join up for the war.
Well, my Norman has enlisted already. I'm so proud of him. I mean, I was telling the ladies in the sewing circle, he wants to be a rifleman, but I've told him to go for a mission. He's well capable of it, you know. Well capable.
Hello? Anybody in? You've left your door wide open, Ivy. Why, Flora, any word, isn't it all? You're not having a party nor inviting me, are you? Why, long faces?
Oh, Maggie, I'm upset.
What is
I'm really upset.
See that?
It's our Billy and Len. They're going fighting in the war. Oh, I can't bear it.
Oh, no, listen. Billy's not old enough. They won't have Billy. He's only 17. They'll never take him. They'll never take him, love.
Hey, Maggie, I've told her she's nothing to worry about. Come on, make a nice cup of tea.
Well, talking about the war, I was talking to Betty Kelly last week, and she was telling me about their Lizzie, the one who's married to Jack. Well, it was a birthday, and always go to her Auntie Elsie's at Salford for a birthday tea. Whilst they were there, they decided to take in a show at the Palace Theatre. During the performance, guess who came on stage? Vesta Tilly.
Vesta Taylor, you know that entertainer? She dresses like a man.
Yeah, she came on the stage in a dress, all gold and shimmering. The next thing, lo and behold, she's on stage dressed as a soldier, marching up and down that theatre, up and down, through the middle. And then, when she got to the end of the row where Jack was sitting, she put her hand on his shoulder, and he stood up, marched with all the other men behind her, up on the stage, and they enlisted. I tell you, it's scandalous what they're doing to get our boys to enlist. Scandalous.
Oh, you know, I can't believe it. What did she say then, Lizzie?
Well, she was really upset. She's 6 months gone, she said. She pleaded, begged him, think of the baby, don't go to war. And he just said, I have to go. We men have to go. She said if Vesta Tilly hadn't put her hand on his shoulder, he'd be here with her now. I mean, what can you do? He just had to go. He's gone.
Do you know, it upsets me so much when I hear tales like that. What's she doing? Prancing about, dressed like a man, persuading her boys to go and get killed in some stupid war. Why don't she go and fight herself?
Exactly.
If she's so keen.
Exactly.
Come on, I'll have that cup of tea.
Me and Len Taylor. We're going to serve our country and fight in the war. Start a training day after tomorrow.
Well done, son. I'm quite bloody proud of you.
Well done. Well done. Overnight, dead body. Are you going fighting in that war? You're not going, and that's that. What are you doing? Telling him well done. He's too young. You're only 17. You're not going, that's that.
Don't take on so, ma'am. It'll be all right. Me and Len will stick together. I'm just looking forward to it, ma'am. Might be going to France.
France? France? If you go to France, I'll never see you again.
Ma'am, don't be daft. It'll be all right. We'll get leave, you know.
That's not what I mean. And you know it. I've told you, you're not going. I'll go down to that bloody recruiting office. I'll tell them I owe you. Billy, tell me, it's not because of that Kitty, is it, that you've enlisted?
It's late. Why should I have joined up because of her? No, ma'am, I haven't.
Will someone tell me what over this Johnny has got to do with Kitty Lane?
I'll tell you, Dad. When Billy was going to work the other day, he bumped into Kitty at the car shop, and the stupid little madam gave him a white feather. Gave my son a white feather.
Who told you that, ma'am?
Never mind who told me, I know. That's all what matters. Wait till I see her. Stuck-up little madam giving my son a white feather. Who does she think she is?
Don't say anything, ma'am. It's got nothing at all to do with why I've joined up. I'm sick of that rotten factory, ma'am. I'm sick of Westhoughton. I don't want to be stuck here every day until I'm an old man. I want to see the world, ma'am, and this is my opportunity. It'll be an adventure.
Will somebody tell me what's going on? White feathers? I've never heard of them before. What's all that mean?
I'll tell you, Dad. Any young man who's not fighting in this war are being labelled cowards. And these girls are giving the lads white feathers to say, you are a coward. And they're giving them to our lads.
Well, I never. What's the world coming to, Mother? Eh? What's the world coming to? Now, don't go on too much, Mother. You never know what's going to happen, do you? Eh? I don't know.
I'm not proud of you, lad. No, not at all. I don't know what we're going to do. You want to be coming home with bits of body missing, like Brian Catchall from Daisy Hill, 20 years old and no legs. What chance has he got of having a decent living and finding a wife and having a family? It's no chance at all.
No, don't take on so, Mother. They don't all come home injured, you know.
No. Some of them come home dead, and some of them don't come home at all. And I've suffered. You lost your life having our Billy. But send him off and get killed in some stupid war. Oh.
Never mind. Leave your mother to me, Irene. She'll be all right tomorrow. You know what she's like. She gets all bits up and agitated. Okay. Come on.
Children, 8 children. Well, one day, his wife was in the cottage doing the washing for all the family.
That must have been an awful big wash with 8 children. Oh.
Well, it was a big wash, but she was doing the washing, the little ones were in the garden plot digging, the other ones were at the front place, when all of a sudden, one of the children came running in shouting, "The Germans! The Germans are coming!" Well, she didn't believe that for 1 minute. They lived in such a remote place. But she thought it best go and check, so she put the baby under her arm. And as she was going to the door, she heard this almighty bang. And when she looked out, about 50 houses had gone up in smoke, and the local church just lay in ruins. But thank God the children were safe.
Do you know, I was in the butcher's the other day, and she was in the butcher's. On the house street, just look. And you know, they were talking with us. It's so funny to hear them.
Yeah.
Yes, they've done really well, I thought, to learn English in such a short time.
Yeah.
And they're so brave, I mean, to still be so cheerful after all they've gone through.
Hey.
Oh, here's Kath now.
Oh, sorry I'm late, everyone.
I've just remembered the Port family settling. It seems so strange seeing a Belgian flag over Old Wingate School. Oh, it's done so well, getting into accommodation so fast. I can't believe it won't get to that food coming to Westhoughton.
Where are the what?
Where
Are
are
they
they?
coming? I haven't seen them. Oh, Len, Billy.
We're waiting for you.
Oh, darling. I feel so awful every time I see Billy Eckersley. Why? I've done a terrible thing to him, darling.
You did.
What? Oh, it's so awful. I could barely stand to tell you.
Well, come here now and tell me all about it. Nothing can be that bad.
Oh, it is, darling, it is. When I tell you what I've done, you'll never speak to me again.
Well, if you don't tell me, I'll never know that. Come on, tell me.
I gave Billy Eckersley a white feather.
Oh, Kitty.
Oh, I don't know what came over me, darling. It was such a daft thing to do, but I've been reading in papers about how these young girls were giving lads feathers and it were making them go and join up. And he went in pie shop at 12 o'clock for his dinner. So I waited for him. I got a feather from farmyard last week when I went for eggs. Oh, darling. He looked so upset when I gave it him. I wanted to snatch it back and say, "I'm sorry, Billy," but I couldn't. So I just turned round and ran away, and I'm worried now, darling. That's why he's joined up because of me and that daft white feather. Oh, he looked so upset, darling, just standing there.
Oh, I bet he looked upset. You shouldn't have done that, Kitty. Why would you do that to Billy Eckersley? He's no broke lad. He's even too young to go to war. Everybody knows he lied to join up. Do you know it's easy for us women accusing our men of cowardice when we know we will never have to go to the front to prove our bravery, will we? I've even heard, Kitty, that some girls, they're giving their boyfriends white feathers because they're sick of them. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. They want to get rid of them and they think if they make them join up, then go and get a new boyfriend. Oh, you mustn't believe all this propaganda, Kitty. Most of it's no but lies. And what did you do then?
Well, I shoved it in wants to say to you, haven't you, Kitty?
I'll leave you two together to talk.
Billy, I'm sorry I gave you that white feather, Billy. I shouldn't have done it. Please say that's not why you've joined up, Billy. Please.
Of course not, you silly chump. Well, I must say I was a bit shaken when you gave me that feather. To tell you the truth, I was rather pleased that you had noticed me. But that's not the reason why I joined. I joined because of the excitement, the adventure. Why, I might even be going to France. I'll tell you what, if I do get there, I'll bring something French back from France, shall I? Avoid getting it out.
Oh, I've always liked you, Billy, ever since we were in junior school together. Something French? For me? And for France? Oh, la la! Tell you what, Billy, would it be all right if I wrote to you whilst you're over there? Keep you up to date with what's going on in Westhoughton. I'd like to do that.
Of course you can. I've been smashing. Right. All right, back to you. Tell you all about those French girls falling over. I'm only joking, Kitty. Where's Layla?
Oh, he's over there dancing with Dolly. They seem to be getting along well, don't they?
Dolly, I'm really gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss seeing you wiggle down Grundy Street on a Saturday morning, shopping for your ma.
Oh, behave, Len. You're such a cheeky lad. Are you not worried though, Len? Going to war, I mean, we hear such terrible things.
Oh, don't be worried, it's just scaremongering, that's all. Why, I'll be home for Christmas. We can have a very good time, can't we, eh?
Oh, all right, I really will if you want me to. Will you write to me?
I will, but you know writing's not my best subject. But I will try, I'll try. But I do like to sing. I have come to say goodbye, Dolly Gray. Please don't ask me why, Dolly Gray. There's a murmur in the air, you can hear it everywhere. It's a case of do or dare, Dolly Gray. Do you hear the sound of feet, Dolly Gray? Sounding through the village street, Dolly Gray. It's the tramp of soldiers' feet in their uniforms so neat. I must say goodbye to you, Dolly Gray. Goodbye, Dolly, I must leave you. Though it breaks my heart to go. Something tells me I am leaving, and the front to fight the foe. See, the soldier boys are marching, and I can no longer stay. Hark, I hear the bugle calling. Goodbye, Dolly Gray. Goodbye, Dolly Gray.
Lad, enjoy yourself.
How are you, Dad?
Chance of a lifetime, this lad.
It
Chance
is,
of a lifetime.
it is.
What a time, you lad. Hey, you've got a picture. You will be a brave lad taking this war out. Yeah, it's
Sure they'll look after me, won't they, out there?
they will, and it's I just wish I were you would have fitted myself. I'd enrolled myself. My God, I'd get that one something to
Thank you
worry
very
about.
much, Sue.
Oh, that. Anyway, you could do it from me, lad. I know you can.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks.
I hope you've all got some sheets. If not, you'd like to share, please. So we'd love you to join in. Sure you're all familiar with them. Yes. So shall we start with Tipperary? It's a long way to Tipperary. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest girl I know. Goodbye, Piccadilly, farewell, Leicester Square. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's right there. It's a long...
Were they the same as mine? We feel pain the same, fear, anguish and despair. Do we think the same? There is no time to spare. My brain goes numb as I thrust the bayonet through your heart. Your blood runs warm. My blood runs cold. It is I who will be torn with guilt. It is I who will be filled with grief. It is I who will find no peace. It is kill or be killed. It is either live or die. Peace comes with death. But what comes with life? Never to forget that instant whose torment will remain, living with me day and night, knowing that I took your life. Oh, soldier, who are you? To who do you belong? Will your mother grieve for you? And your wife and children too?
Well, I always was one for a bit of fun. Loved a bit of a lark. Bit of adventure. Well, I've got one now right enough, haven't I? Me and Billy Eckersley, my best mate, 2 K-heads from Westhoughton, up to our necks in mud and bullets in bloody France. They never said it'd be like this.
Me and Len didn't go straight to the trenches. We had to do our training first. During the day we did our marching drill, using wooden poles instead of rifles, because we were told then that the soldiers at the front needed all the rifles. But then the first day, Len looked at me and laughed.
I hope we get a chance to practice with some proper rifles before we go into battle. These wooden poles aren't doing much use against the Hun.
Get the knees up, lads. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's better.
For 3 days on the trot, we built trenches and filled them up again. Weeks passed, we built trenches and filled them up again. We marched some more, then we drilled. I've been given an expert in using a wooden pole pretending we're a rifle. Charge! At the end of 4 weeks, we were told that our training had finished. And we were told at long last we're headed to France. We're headed to the front. At last, we're going to war.
I had the job of editing the letters written by the young soldiers. I have no need to censor or erase anything written in there. You're written with love, bravery, and the need to protect their loved ones from this senseless war. What they write are all fairy stories. Nothing like the truth of this awful war that we're in. Day in, day out, week in and week out.
Dear Dolly, it's not so bad here. There are no soft mattresses.
Or pillows. But we have our own baths. We have a laugh with the rest of the lads. Haven't had steak and carwheel pie yet for dinner. No trifle, which you know's my favourite. But the good news is, we haven't had any froggy food either. The tins of bully beef are just about edible, which is more than can be said about the biscuits. Dog biscuits, they're so hard, they nearly break your teeth.
Dear Len, I hope you are well. Please, please take care of yourself. I will be here waiting for you to return home safely, actually. That's if you want me to. We have been helping to grow fruit and vegetables on all the allotments here in Westhoughton, as food is scarce. It's hard work, but good fun, and at least we know we're doing our bit for the country, and we won't starve. Love, darling.
Take it. I'm alright. Perhaps not as well as you are. Not seen much action yet. Oh, we managed to catch a lice. We all have, even Len. Spent the whole day picking the lice off our clothes. We didn't know that the lice lay their eggs in the seams of your clothes, so no matter how many you picked, more came back. Gave up in the end. The lice live by eating your skin underneath your clothes. So we all had to be deloused. No kidding. We all had to walk into the delousing chamber, which contained 3 huge vats that used to be used to brew beer but now covered in water. We all laughed and said, wouldn't mind bathing in that beer. They say that foreign beer is better than our beer. Not had much chance to try it though yet. Oh, Kitty. Can't wait to see you. Look at the photo you sent me every day. And at night, before I go to bed, I give her a kiss. Lane called me one night, and he ain't hard, pulled me leg. But I know he's got a picture of Dolly, which he keeps in his top pocket. Bye for now, love.
Dear Billy, I hope this letter finds you well. Oh, Billy, it's so sad being in Westhoughton now. When I go to church on a Sunday morning, the vicar reads out the names of all those who are dead or missing in action from Westhoughton, and my heart skips with joy every time I realise your name is not on that dreaded list. Do you remember Joseph Jones, Billy, that cheeky little boy from school? He was always being naughty and rude to the teacher. Well, it was rumoured that he was missing in action, that he was dead. But happily that was not so. He was wounded in the face and was brought home, and is recovering now in hospital in Newcastle. Do you remember Mr. and Mrs. Klutz, Billy, at your going away party? Oh, they are such lovely people, Billy, and I'm finding out so much more about them now. They travelled from Ostend to London to Westhoughton, and the people are being so kind to them, Billy, giving them clothing and bedding and making them feel at home. Oh, and the little ones, Billy, they're so funny. They've picked up English really quickly, and it's so funny to hear them speak with a Westhoughton accent. That's all for now, Billy love. Please look after yourself. And please keep writing to me. I live for your letters. Love, Kitty.
Man that swamped you. Man that sat at you. Man that can even drown you. 30 days continuous rain and shellfire have split the whole battlefield of every living thing but men, trying to kill each other. There are dead bodies, men, and horses, and buried all over the place.
That was the day I saw my first dead body. His head was out of sight, covered in mud. All I could see were the remains of an arm and ribs with rotten flesh and bits of uniform stuck to it. Maggots were coming out of a hole in his ribs. I took one look. I was sick.
Saw a soldier the other day. He was up to his knees in mud. I tried to pull him out, but it was impossible. 2 days later, he's still there, with just his head showing. He's gone raving mad.
When will this senseless murder end? My nostrils are filled with the smell of blood. My eyes shattered by the sights of bleeding bodies and shattered lives. My heart wrung with the agony of wounded and dying men. Young men going to their deaths. And for what? Nothing! Nothing can be worth this! Nothing!
Dear Dolly, what's all you to wait for me? It's the thought of you waiting for me that keeps me going. Stalemate here at the moment. Our lot bombs them, their lot bombs us. And we go over the top, charge at them, and come back again. They charge at us and they go back again. Only young lads like us. Charlie came face to face with his first hunt the other day. And neither of them could kill each other. So they had a fist fight and then went back to their own trenches. Charlie would have been court-martialed if he'd been caught for so-called fraternising with the enemy.
Oh, Billy. My Billy. I wonder what you're doing now, lad. I wish you was at home, chucking into steak and carrion pie, near the fire. I can't make it now without thinking about you, and I keep looking at your empty chair. Every time I hear of a young man being killed at the front, my heart stops. Oh, there's so many fallen now. The list of honour is growing longer and longer from Westhoughton and Bolton. Please, God, please take care of him. He's no poor lad. He's my baby. Couldn't have any more. And he would died having her, Billy. So he's so precious to them. Do you know, I still blame that kitty for giving him that white feather. I'm sure if Shanta gave it him, he'd have still been here with his mum and dad, safe. He cracked on, he wasn't bothered when she gave it him, but I know different. I know our Billy. He's sensitive, you see. He feels everything. It would have really hurt him that. Do you know, I saw her the other day, and she couldn't look me in the face. The little pussy.
Dear Kitty, sorry I've not written for a while, but I've been in hospital. Please don't worry, I'm fine really. I've got burns all over my hands with the mustard gas. But it's been a nice change really, being tucked up in bed at night and being waited on hand and foot by lovely young nurses. Only joking, Kitty. They aren't half as lovely as you are.
All these boys are so brave. Billy's arms were in a terrible state when he came here. Mustard gas is a killer. It has no smell. It creeps up on you. It fills your lungs. It makes you cough. It makes you choke. It gets in your eyes, blinds you. It kills you by filling your lungs. It burns everything it touches. Billy was lucky. He was wearing a helmet and a respirator. Otherwise, things would have been a lot worse. I've seen men with half their faces burnt off, and many with lost limbs. This is a terrible war. When will it end?
After 1 week, they needed my bed. So I sent to base headquarters until my hands had healed.
Billy was sent to headquarters because if he'd been sent back to the front with his burns and open wounds and he'd got mud in them, he would have lost both of his arms.
Should have seen it at base headquarters. You could have eaten your dinner off the marble floor. Had a real bunk with real sheets and pillows. And the food. Real food. Hot food. Real meat with potatoes and gravy. When the arms had healed, I was sent back to the front. But it was worth it being back with my mates. Who would have thought I was more at home in the muddy trenches than in a marble palace? Just goes to prove that it's the people around you that matter. Family, friends and loved ones. They're the most important things in life.
Dear Lynn, I hope this letter finds you well. Your mother and father send their love. I went to the pictures yesterday with Kitty. He was showing a film about the Battle of the Somme. I could not believe the horror that was being shown on the screen. Then a woman in the audience, I don't know her name, but I think she came from Daisy Hill. When she saw the stretcher bearers carrying the wounded soldiers from the trenches, she stood up and she screamed out, "That's my husband, Jimmy!" Oh, it was terrible. It was so upsetting. It seems she just received a letter to inform her that her husband had been killed in action, leaving her with 9 children. Oh, Len, do look after yourself. I miss you so. Oh, my love. Dolly. Oh, Len, we're so war-weary here in Westhoughton. All the killings and all our young men dead. I bet you're sick of it too, Len. Do you remember that lovely going away party we had for you and Billy? We didn't know then, did we, what was in front of us all? I hope you got my last parcel. There were 4 large, 2 small packets of the 6 you like. It's all I could get. Everything's so scarce here in Westhoughton. There's 2 pair of socks that I knitted for myself at the knitting group. And some of your favourite spearmint too.
What was I thinking of, man, sending you out to war? And what a bloody awful war this has turned out to be. I'm so angry. Still proud of you, but so bloody angry. Do these generals know what they're doing? They're all lying like the donkeys. I'm stood here reading the paper. looking over at your mother, quietly knitting, tears in her eyes, wishing you were all sat with us where you should be. My God, and this war ends soon, or it'll kill us all.
Dear Dolly, Merry Christmas. I can't believe it's Christmas Day already. And we're still here fighting. I thought I'd be back home in Outford now. Opening presents, drinking sherry.
Listen, Leo. Listen. Silence. Nothing. Not from the old ones, not from the German ones. Perhaps the war's over, they haven't told us yet.
I don't think so, Billy lad. Don't you know what day it is? It's Christmas Day.
Oh, happy Christmas then. I suppose you're getting our Christmas dinner, eh? Goose, duck, you reckon? With all the trimmings, of course. Plum pudding with custard or brandy sauce. Oh, I can taste it already.
The only special thing we'll be getting is another tin of bully beef and biscuits. And the only present we'll be getting is a telling off from the side if you don't jump to it quick.
Hey, you don't believe what's going on?
You.
Hey, Tommy! Happy Christmas!
The Germans are sending us Christmas greetings. I don't believe it.
I thought you wouldn't. Go on, send him a greeting back.
Hey Fritz, come here, man!
I hear you, Tommy!
What's Merry Christmas in German?
I think it's Frau Weihnachten. One of the officers was looking it up in the booth, kept saying it.
Frau Weihnachten! Merry Christmas, Fritz!
Hey, what are you having for Christmas dinner?
We are having that!
Rats? Is that all?
Ah, but it's a very big rat! Plenty of meat on it! What are you having?
Oh, the usual. Roast chicken, roast potatoes, sprouts, and gravy. All that's provided the butler gets here on time with us in the car.
I know that carol, eh? You sing it in Silent Night.
We used to sing that every Christmas at Sunday school.
Aye, I remember. I'll never forget this Christmas either.
Attention! Hold yourself up there. Now! Fraternizing with the enemy is an offence liable to court-martial. I'd stop it right now if I was you, lad. If you don't want to find yourself in Syria, come on!
Oh, come on, Sarge. We're only young lads like us, far away from home in a foreign field.
Don't you think I know that, lad? But tomorrow